was that? Could it be the Koldamama Dakwa? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your... There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular bird. There it is again. You are about to read this. It must be very close. Keep still. It might perch on your shoulder.
No, I don't hear the...
Of course he doesn't. He's deaf. Oh no. The sound. No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ring. Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has my...
Yes?
Fuck does Kuno care? Shitload pig. Don't tell the pig
This is where you quickly ask him questions. Real cop questions. Like a cop.
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong. Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was... Kuno kicked that shit in the sea. Rugby style. That shit means nothing to... Yeah? That shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about... You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate. Yeah, cocking boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit. So yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like...
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information? Yes, pray pardon, sire. Better to let it be. I did not mean to make...
You're testing Kuno's... Get lost! Kuno does...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes. The armor was produced by... It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect... So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie, the most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records.
This is a fun challenge for her, an opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM.
Sure. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I will have more information for you then. 57.
In the cabin, you see a...
Life doesn't need to be a struggle. I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just...
Have you no shame? Whining about your back.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're...
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a... No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
See? Your munching and complaining have ruined my concept.
Could the objective of the game be to throw...
Ah, mon Dieu. The pain in my back is unbearable. I can't...
I hope you pass out from it, you goddamn jellyfish. Men like you are the real...
Trying to throw something as close to a predetermined point. Shush. Ignore them. They don't know what they're doing. They're old. You are... Does it matter what team? Pick a team. Any team. The blue team. You're letting them down. Eyes on the ball, Dinky Winky.
Sure, officer. I am René Arnaud, and my specially abled partner here is Gaston Martin. How can we help you? Yes. The terrain here, I do. Fire from heavy artillery. Why what? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home. Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first. Yes. The military coordinated amphibious landing. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in '08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely...
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the Coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players at the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the...
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
Preposterous! Surely you don't mean it. I'm just sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those commie hyenas, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol. Or even if that damn clan...
This royal failure.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's near. Damn Frisell. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob.
A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Fris.
Wait, Joyce said William ran, and his nephew, Frizzle, was shot in his place.
This is communard propaganda. Guillaume would never do something like that. This was René the king. Has everyone forgotten already? It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the Fifth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
Yes? Hello? Me? No one. I'm just...
She doesn't really want to. If she's such a working-class woman, why isn't she working?
looking for something to read. I know you are.
Everyone can see that. The rectangles.
What with?
What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go...
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home...
Where is this going, officer?
Yes, but... I don't really need to know where my husband... No. Why are we still talking about this?
She has, though. The husband is totally lost. You should tell her that it's...
What? Who said anything about Shane? Stop.
But he is. You can feel it. Or maybe...
No, absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny? They are not missing...
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
What? That's just... My daughters are... They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now. My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18 next month. Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not missing? That they're in Jamrock, safe and well? There is no investigation here. I can tell you that. I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you...
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get like this. It's better to indulge him at this point.
I don't even have a cockatoo.
It's a trap. Never ever say what.
Even if I had, it wouldn't be missing. Great. Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so in...
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or...
Wonderful. The store is open.
The woman before you nod. Hey, psst. Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pockets. Literally, oh yes, the mass of ambivalence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off, and everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get failure? It's about failure. Yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion... You against the atom, the charm and the spin. We're the whole world. Now get to work, comrade. Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Too late to back out now. You Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough. Another comrade. Years of labor are pressing down on the woman. There, working class drunk, cracked it. All in a good day's work. The woman. There, cracked it. What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. Yes, and you found him. Didn't she repeatedly tell you? But he is missing. You heard her. There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit.
God damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't missing. And I specifically added that I didn't need. Very well then. Where is he? Excuse me?
There's something else hiding in her voice, though. A trace of
Right, 'cause working class women come with alcoholic husbands.
Remember, about that what. Never ever say what.
You were right.
Ah, blam. Knew it.
No, he's not. Or maybe he is, I don't know. I haven't seen him for...
There. She's worried now. She sighs, but you can...
All right, go ahead. Do you have any questions? Honestly, not that different from you. That's one way to put it, yes. No offense. What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in.
Who cares about the cold when you have your cool...
I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it? Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps.
She's thinking about him out in the cold, in some park, or on the coast.
Yesterday morning, he went to the library. Because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again.
Gone for around 36 hours then. She turns away from you in an attempt.
So you are going to look for him. Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure he will
I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 57, Kim Kitsuragi, know?
I will. Of course, officer. As I said, it's probably nothing.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus? Oh. What about? A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right?
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance. A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title. From A to Zurich, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo. Turns out that there are so many different cockatoos. You don't have behavioral problems. That turns out that there are so many different... You don't have behavior...
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
You wait for the storekeeper to be distracted. It's quite a challenge, but eventually the guide to the cockatoos is yours. Splendid effort. A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas a la Mer. This book talks about the delicate nature of toos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the major majestic cockatoo, and the most common bang bang cockatoo. It's colorfully illustrated. Despite its banging name, the bang bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminoese forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is mainly gray and perhaps the most impressive of all the species, the endangered major majestic cockatoo, is often described as the most flamboyant bird in the jungle. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hues of the verdant forest than this is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates to its dark and smooth. Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know. Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, it is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand that you have a life of your own. Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you? You're right. You're the mediocrity embodied. This unsung bird belongs on your...
Excuse me? I don't know. The most talkative one? The what now? You truly are one strange cop, aren't you? I have a strange cop offering to find my stupid husband. What a day.
See a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens...
Oh!
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped. Ow, shoot. Whose moronic idea? A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to...
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Bent metal, broken glass. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter. Kudos.
What is this place? No, it's a gym. Though I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Yes, because it's no need to look for supernatural explanations where banal.
barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of. There are no collars on the bar. Why does it feel so familiar? Wow, so someone's been a little bored. Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown. No need to be defensive. The regularity, the brownness, the cut and dry. Of course you do. Maybe some regulations. And a usual pistol to go with them? It's official. My lord's coppo type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of it as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual benefits. Done and done. No actual communiques will be. Hey, psst. Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building. Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Good. We need tender men like you building gargantuan communism. Word on the street is you keep saying things like, down with the... Oh yes, everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions? Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. A barbell, it's sick. Why does it feel so familiar? Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. This is a children's game. A warm wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the barbell to the... Hey, but you're still in a ghost house.
Good technique.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of Welkins. You make out translucent Welkins, with organs shining under their skin. Who are all those creatures? You should adopt one of those Welkins as your persona. One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different. It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too. This looks like concept art for a project. Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just look at those details.
And for what? The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers. Boreal Dvor. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and minimi stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board
looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod skid." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: call in, tune out. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. The mesh, the whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic. History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. Perhaps the web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart. They must have had massive air width. These things don't come cheap. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in, all of this is gone. There's no way a little basement studio working.
My God, it's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from time.
Yes?
This old fight, the whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic. Radio free, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations. They must have had someone, the leader of a massive on-air, a conductor for the hundreds of story threads that whoever decides to call in, all of there's...
My God. It's as if the less... Exactly. This schedule. I know doom when...
Nothing. This old, the whole thing, radio free, unclear. You think so? They must have had massive, a conduct, whoever, all of, there's...
My God. The schedule...
Nothing.
Yes? Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. Good. Let's change the...
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
What he means is that these things cost...
But we are looking for a fridge, and we...
On the other hand, it's not the time, not... This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Maybe the body has stopped decomposing somehow. I don't know. You're in charge of this expedition, officer.
You can always do it after the fridge. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. It's empty like a beehive without its... The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the like a smooth drawer. The filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planer. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned...
Good morning. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is it. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the term... One moment. Fortress Accident SCA...
That's not bad.
Any other questions? The filament you have inserted into the reader. Yes. Is that the production schedule? If you are unsure, could you please take a look? Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current... Good. Please.
Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Password.
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, that is the question.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to...
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Connection.
Not in Revachol West.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have the technology. No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that
coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people. Possibly.
Indeed. Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the we were.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately.
Indeed. It's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's keep moving.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The bear looks oddly real. This must be the fridge you were told about. Look inside. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
It's certainly an eccentric choice.
But the optics on this are awful. Your visual confirms you could fit 2 more bodies in the eye.
Shall we go and get the body then? I'll take the head, you take the feet.
The body is heavier than you suspected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get the body, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back.
Beautiful. A dead body in an ice bear fridge. This is some of the best body.
You have created an ice bear sarcophagus.
Talk of the ice bear sarcophagus must not leave this room. If I were an artist, this would certainly not.
He's right. His work...
At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct...
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting. Why does art inspire you so much? Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of in short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes, disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too. Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street. Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly. Your arm reaches out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything is silent, all around. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball like you're on the right track. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, fragile. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Abrasion collar.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 feet. Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his... Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further. Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Ice-cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right through the latex and into your finger. There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium. The object that is in there stops just short of the...
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here. Can you get to it?
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp, like metal. The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove with a plop. Your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered.
A bullet.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering.
A non-calibre rifle. Some kind of brittle... Of course, you deserve it. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound? Opinion, fatal injury. And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark.
He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Yes, and the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this. I have had my doubts since you showed me the tracks. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him? There have been other signs too. Small things. We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death.
We didn't fall for it, he thinks. There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening. To put him out of his misery? It's possible, but it doesn't explain all the other dubious things here. Lack of struggle, primarily. I may be intellectually slow, that's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding to hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? Yes, we should take a closer look at it.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will work on the case, tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks, and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's... Someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger... You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Suliswaf.
Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony. A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts. A thick layer of coal dust covers its dark and grimy hair. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chip.
Hello?
You've awakened the entity. A thick layer of coal dust covers its dark.
What are you doing? Wait, really? Take your head out of the chimney.
It feels safe to know that the lieutenant's got your back, now and always. Something.
Hello?
You've awakened the entity.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come up.
You hear a low rumble upstairs.
After you, officer.
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening. So what kind of
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps she's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need.
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Answers? How strange. These days I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but go ahead and ask.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a
Plaisance was right. There's an entity live
creative.
When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow? Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the east of the Commerce Central project. And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing and
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
Malignant entity? What does that even mean? Some kind of...
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
So I'm the grand dragon in the cave. Might I ask what supports this claim? Oh my, you better call the exorcists. Of course. How come? Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies...
That's all she has to say on the subject. She has. Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you will make sense of the situation.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? More or less. Are you interested in anyone's...
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer a kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why... Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point...
It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around. Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She liked...
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then.
That's understandable. Fantasies are serious.
They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically lip the usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get... Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seem to believe they were historical individuals.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time. Still, not everyone is going to make it. That's the nature of the game.
The result is the dice is black and filled.
Anything else? Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas.
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored mind.
Sounds like she really doesn't know how to be a female ally.
Oh, but they did. They did show up to work, and not alone. There were also acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends, and they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. Eventually, Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges. Maybe, because the taxidermist who made the bear he said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on
Sounds cool. Why is everyone doing drugs in this place? Even the taxidermist?
Megatherion, a mega wild beast. It's an imaginary beast by telling you to do more drugs, mostly. Understandable, you shouldn't do them. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire. Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else? Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
You feel...
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
You feel...
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
You feel...
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a... Excuse me. Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for...
You feel...
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
You feel...
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a...
You feel nothing.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a...
A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
Didn't we already talk about this? What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same.
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its ruins swallowed up. Yet,
This doesn't make any sense. Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from? And what?
don't let her become complacent. She still needs to ward her soul against the evil forces. She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away the exhaustion from...
Do you know what this is? It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan. It wasn't just a jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world that you were supposed. And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney? Yeah. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a... That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try it. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending. But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer.
Anti-object task force. Behold.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. A normal die? I'm a novelty die. Polyhedral dice. Dice that have more than 4 sides. Oh, come on now. Be a little creative. I think I have just the right one for you.
Police colors.
Not the most original, I know. But sometimes the obvious choice is, here, catch. They're a gift from me.
A beautiful woman tossing you a gift. Whatever you do, don't overthink it. Mr. Smooth moves. You snatch the dice out of the air with one hand, just like you're in a movie.
Oh, what are the odds? The red one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay, and the blue one is...
She winked back at you. Can you...
You definitely need luck in Martinez. Was there anything else? Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. A star that fell from the firmament? Those cost more than 7 real. Are you sure? Yes, you definitely have the proper attitude. How about a pair of 100-sided die?
Pieces of lodestone were used as the first magnetic compass.
10 real, and I can get these ready in 8 hours. Maybe you have some other... What do you mean by cursed? Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die. Great, see you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else? I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce 1 die per customer.
Tremble. The time is now. Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. Or Monday morning, the moment you arrived in this reality. Ulogu Theodos. Xeno, time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of... Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why the face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs, rummaging around. You find most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest. But one catches your eye, a bolt-action model with a fine...
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez.
He likes this find.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag, bearing the RC. Beside his orderly handwriting, the bullet looks especially sad, like a tiny, shriveled head of cauliflower. The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. Little pebbles of metal loaded from the...
What? Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say find the weapon. If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet...
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter. You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. It's quite destroyed. Some of the...
What can you say about the bullet so far? A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech.
Highly unusual. The people of Revachol haven't...
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer.
Something tells you that won't be any time soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while. A rifle, revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers.
What are you thinking? Bullet? Okay, and? An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez. I have to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that they took the advice of criminologists last century and back. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzleloaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons.
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Real Belt.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. But back to the investigation. Let's find out. Next step, finding the gun itself.
Two cables are plugged into...
Why? I gave you the key. I hope you can find the solution quickly. The wards are broken. The passage has been opened. Now tell me, what's back there? A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep. I don't understand. If it's not her, then what?
The narrative she's built herself. She's squeezing on the pendant too. Just don't say you don't have any answer. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
A third order presence.
A great dark relief.
I've heard of these triactors. In certain occult literature, that's too dark to dwell on for too long. And I understand everything, sir. Thank you for your descending into the maelstrom. I will keep fort up here, strengthen the wards. May the Lord be with you.
Well, this has been absolutely educational.
Yes. The vent.
Should we get out of here before the vortex collapses?
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you? It's a Bell McGrave, 4.46 caliber.
His moves are quick and precise as he first checks the weapon, then aims.
This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her? I understand. Unfortunately, I don't know what else to tell you. These PMs are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.